I took the train to surprise my grandson on his graduation day. But my son said, "You're embarrassing him." Those words still echo in my heart. I can't forget how they made me feel that day. Like all the love I carried inside me suddenly had nowhere to go. I remember that morning so clearly. The air was soft, the sun shining gently through my small kitchen window. I had woken up early, too excited to even eat breakfast. My grandson, Ethan, was graduating from high school, and I wanted to be there. I hadn't been invited, but I didn't think that mattered. I'm his grandmother. I've been there since the day he was born. I still remember holding him for the first time. So tiny, so quiet. I used to sing him lullabies when my son and his wife were too tired. I thought love was enough reason to show up. So I baked some of Ethan's favorite cookies. Chocolate chip, the kind he loved as a little boy, and packed them carefully in a tin box. I wrapped a small gift for him too, a wristwatch. It wasn't expensive, but I saved for it for months. I wanted him to have something special from me on this big day. I put on my nicest dress, the blue one with small white flowers. I brushed my hair and even wore a little perfume I hadn't used in years. I wanted to look nice for him. The train ride was long, about 3 hours. I sat by the window and smiled quietly to myself most of the way. I thought of how surprised he would be when he saw me in the crowd. I imagined his face lighting up, him running to hug me. I imagined my son smiling too. Maybe even proud that I came all that way. When the train stopped, I got off carefully and walked to the graduation hall. It was big, full of people. Parents with flowers, families taking pictures, laughter everywhere. I stood near the back, holding the tin of cookies close to my chest. My eyes searched the crowd for my son and his family. And then I saw them. My son, his wife, and Ethan, standing together, smiling for a photo. He looked so handsome in his cap and gown. My heart swelled with pride. I wanted to call out, but something stopped me. They looked so happy, so complete. I didn't want to interrupt, so I waited quietly until the ceremony started. I watched from the back, clapping softly when his name was called. I whispered to myself, "That's my grandson." After the ceremony, I walked slowly toward them, my heart beating fast. My son noticed me first. His smile faded when he saw me. "Mom," he said, surprised. "What are you doing here?" I smiled. "I came to see Ethan graduate. I wanted to surprise him." He looked around nervously, like he didn't want anyone to see me. "Mom, you shouldn't have come without telling me." Before I could answer, Ethan turned and saw me. For a second, his face softened. He said, "Grandma?" I smiled wider. "Congratulations, sweetheart. I'm so proud of you." I reached out to hug him, but before I could, my son stepped between us. He lowered his voice and said, "Mom, not now. You're embarrassing him." I froze. I didn't understand. I looked at Ethan, hoping he would say something. But he just looked down, his face red. I whispered, "I just wanted to give him this." I held out the box of cookies, my hands trembling. My son sighed. "Mom, please, not here. We'll talk later, okay?" I nodded slowly. "All right," I said quietly. I just wanted to see him smile. His wife looked uncomfortable, like she wanted me to leave. My son turned away to take another photo. I stood there for a few moments, feeling out of place. People were laughing, hugging, celebrating. But for me, time just stopped. I looked at Ethan one more time. He didn't look back, so I walked away. I found a small bench near the parking lot and sat there, still holding the box of cookies. The sounds of celebration filled the air. Cheers, clapping, music. But they felt so far away. I opened the box and looked at the cookies I made with so much love. I thought of how many times little Ethan would sit in my kitchen and eat them, his cheeks full, crumbs all over his shirt, laughing. And now, here I was, alone. After a while, I stood up and started walking toward the train station. The sun was setting, the orange light making everything look softer, sadder. I took the long route, just so I could gather myself. On the train back, I sat quietly by the window again. The cookies sat on my lap, untouched. I watched the trees and towns pass by. My reflection on the glass looked older than I remembered. When I reached home, I placed the cookies on the kitchen table. I didn't even have the energy to take off my shoes. I sat down and just stared at the empty chair across from me. The chair where my husband used to sit before he passed. I whispered to him. Did we raise him wrong? Did I love too much? No one answered. Only the clock ticked softly on the wall. Later that night, I got a message from my son. It said, "Sorry about earlier, Mom. You caught us off guard. We'll visit soon." I stared at the message for a long time. Then I typed back, "It's okay. I understand." But I didn't really understand. I went to bed, but I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying that moment. You're embarrassing him. Those words stung in ways I can't describe. I never wanted to embarrass anyone. I just wanted to be there, to share in his joy. The next morning, I took the cookies and gave them to my neighbor's children. They smiled so brightly when they tasted them. "These are amazing," they said. I smiled too. It felt good, seeing someone enjoy them. That evening, I received a picture from my son, Ethan with his friends, all laughing at a restaurant. The caption read, "Proud of you, son." I stared at it for a while, then turned off my phone. Days passed, then weeks. No visit, no call. I kept busy, gardening, reading, baking sometimes. But every time I heard a train whistle in the distance, my heart would ache. One afternoon, I found an old photo album while cleaning. There were pictures of my son when he was Ethan's age, smiling, holding my hand. I remembered how he used to say, "Mom, when I grow up, I'll take care of you." I smiled at that photo, tears filling my eyes. Life changes people in ways we don't expect. A few months later, Ethan came to see me, alone. I was surprised when I opened the door. He looked nervous, older somehow. "Hi, Grandma," he said softly. I smiled, my eyes already wet. "Oh, sweetheart, come in." He stepped inside, looking around the small house. "It's been a while," he said. I nodded. "It has. Would you like some tea?" He smiled. "I'd love that." As I made tea, he sat at the table. His eyes fell on the old photo album lying there. He opened it and saw his father's childhood pictures. "Dad looks so different here," he said. "He does," I said. "That's when he was about your age." There was a moment of silence. Then he said quietly, "I'm sorry, Grandma." I looked at him. "For what?" He lowered his eyes. "For that day, at graduation, I should have come to you. I should have hugged you. I didn't know what to do. Dad told me not to make a scene, but I saw you leave and it broke me too." Tears filled my eyes. "Oh, Ethan, you don't have to apologize. I understand." He shook his head. "No, you don't. You've always been there for me. You deserved better than that." I reached out and held his hand. "What matters is that you're here now." He smiled, eyes wet. "I missed you, Grandma." "I missed you too, sweetheart." We sat there for hours, talking, laughing softly, remembering old times. He told me about his plans for college, his dreams, his fears. I listened to every word, my heart feeling lighter than it had in months. Before he left, I packed some cookies for him, the same kind I brought that day. He smiled when I handed him the tin. "Chocolate chip," he said. "Always." I smiled. When he hugged me goodbye, I felt peace wash over me. It didn't erase the pain, but it softened it. After he left, I stood by the window and watched him walk down the street. He turned around once and waved. I waved back, smiling through tears. That night, I sat with my tea and looked up at the stars. I thought of my husband again. "You see, love?" I whispered. He came back. I realized something important that night. Love might be ignored, forgotten, even pushed away for a time. But true love, the kind that comes from a mother or grandmother's heart, always finds its way home. And maybe sometimes it takes pain for people to see how much they mean to each other. So, if you're watching this and you've ever felt unwanted or forgotten by your own family, please remember this. Your love still matters. Even if they don't see it now, someday they will. And when they do, your heart will be ready to forgive. Not because they deserve it, but because peace is what you deserve. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Soft Wounds for all the quiet hearts who still love, still hope, and still heal silently.